Different levels I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played.
Welcome to a special edition of It's Culture Podcast. Breaking news. I had to do this because somebody that I look up to in this podcast world, who I've been a fan of, who reminds me of one of my uncles, Shannon Sharpe, has found himself in with some serious allegations, and we're gonna talk about it tonight. First, hit the like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all the updates. I'm not gonna waste any time tonight with a big long soliloquy or a big long intro. Shannon Sharpe, a lot of people know him now. Uncle Shay, if you grew up in Georgia, where I'm from, Shannon Sharpe name rings like he's a prince. Not a lot of people from the area make it. Shannon is one of them. His brother Sterling is another. You don't see a lot of country boys from Georgia make it all the time, and Shannon is a testament to hard work and perseverance. One, being an exceptional football player and a tight end and a Hall of Famer, and now in his second career as a broadcast host, sports journalist / content creator. I think like everything the man is touching is turning to gold, just like his jacket for Canton. But now you already know when you're up and you're going up and you start to make it in different arenas and people are noticing. Shannon has a great podcast show, Club Shay Shay, as well as Nightcap that he hosts along with Ocho Cinco, and then sometimes Gilbert Arenas is on there. And he made a lot of buzz. Started this podcast a couple years ago. Everybody pretty much kind of started watching him when he was on Undisputed with Skip Bayless, and then the tumultuous relationship they had at the end, and then he went on to ESPN and hooked up with Stephen A. Smith on First Take, and Shannon's doing his thing. In the podcast world, viral video really blew his podcast up, was a Cat Williams one. And it basically just took him to a whole nother level. Just put him in a whole nother orbit. I would say that Shannon's podcast is probably up there with Joe Rogan's now, as far as the viewership and the subscribers. He's doing his thing. And we already know when you start to do your podcast and you start to gain a following, corporations reach out, sponsors reach out, you start to secure a bag. And he's about to secure that bag, a big, nice podcast bag. And here we are. We got Tony Buzbee, the same Tony Buzbee who just is being sued by Jay-Z for an alleged assault that happened at a party that this young woman allegedly was supposed to be at, that has the story completely fell apart. We also know Tony Buzbee because he was the one that brought all the cases against Deshaun Watson, the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I say that he's the male version of Gloria Allred. They are nothing but ambulance chasers who are trying to extort successful, prominent players, athletes, and entertainers, and the likes, in these frivolous lawsuits to try to extort these men for money. Now, this lawsuit is kind of interesting because this one, it says is a Jane Doe. Shannon already knows who the Jane Doe is because he knows who he was in a relationship with. This woman is this most recent relationship that Shannon was in. She's filing a lawsuit under the auspices of a Jane Doe, claiming that he sexually assaulted her not once but a couple of times over the period, and it became violent, abusive, and all this. We already know that Tony Buzbee was going to be the person that was going to be the one filing this lawsuit, this Jane Doe. I hate these cases like this. But Shannon is fighting back. So we're going to go over the little lawsuit real quick. I'm going to show y'all some of the stuff that's going on. And then I'm going to keep this video kind of short and sweet. But let's go to it. So you see the lawsuit here. It's the complainant is Michael Nash. That's the law firm. as well as Tony Buzbee's law firm. You see it up there. It was filed in the 8th District of Nevada in a county court of Clark. So this is filed like in Vegas or Reno, one of those places. Clark County, I think that's Vegas, right? All right, so the Jane Doe versus Shannon Sharpe. Okay, so it says, I'm not gonna go through the introduction. It kind of goes through, it kind of explains Shannon's status. The plaintiff is a young woman in her early 20s, right? Shannon is 56 years old, but this woman is in the early 20s. Don't know why Shannon was messing with a young girl like that, but hey, to each his own, brother, to each his own. Said that Shannon basically, in this intro, they kind of make it seem like Shannon was like stalking this young lady. He was watching her while they worked out. We know that Shannon's a workout warrior, still at his age. He's still jacked, still ripped, still lean. And then over the next couple of weeks, he insistently pursued her, right? He constantly approached her at the gym and attempted to contact her frequently with phone calls and text messages, asking them to meet up. And then they said what followed was the beginning of a rocky, consensual relationship. She said that Shannon wanted her to sign an NDA before they started going out. Okay, he didn't want all this stuff in the news. I can get that. Shannon's trying to build his brand, not trying to be out here having relationships, screwing up the bag. I can totally get that. Relationship was very unequal because Shannon's 30 years older, considered wealthier, and physically much larger and exponentially stronger. Shannon is famous and has power. Trying to make him out to be this angry black man with all this power that he's supposed to have. So it says, by October 24th, the relationship had grown progressively worse beyond anything the plaintiff had experienced with him before. At this point, he was insisted upon recording their sexual activities, sometimes without her knowledge. Now, I will say that we do know that sometime last year, some audio leaked of a sexual encounter that Shannon was having with a woman. I would assume that this is the woman that was in those videos. I mean, in that audio. And Shannon said he don't know how it got leaked. He's an older guy. Don't really, older people don't really know how their phones work. But it kind of goes to this narrative that he would record out loud. She would repeatedly tell the doe that he wanted to do her things that would make no other man want her. He wanted to do things to her that no other man would want her. By this point, Sharpe was no longer able to credibly maintain that relationship was exclusive. He had, at this point, accidentally on purpose to advance his career, went live on Instagram while having sex with another woman. Okay, so I'm reading this live with y'all. So she alleges that she was having sex with him, and then the audio leaked for him having sex with another woman. Okay, so we got that established. So she was not the woman that was on that tape. He said he flew into fits of anger with the plaintiff, noted his infidelity to the relationship, or called him out about his extraneous activities. What he had once been manipulation, control, and intimidation now became something far more dangerous and sinister. Sharpe even figured out how to get into the Doe's apartment complex without her permission. He made it clear that what Doe wanted was of no moment, that Sharpe would get what he wanted when he wanted it. In October 2024, Shannon violently sexually assaulted and anally raped plaintiff 2 different times in Vegas, blatantly ignoring her request to stop. He did it again in January. So this is anal. He violently sexually assaulted her and anally raped her. Okay. Plaintiff left Nevada to temporarily escape Shannon. She now seeks justice through the actions and other means. Plaintiff seeks compensatory and punitive damages in a matter of $50 million. $50 million, y'all. And I'm going to say this, and I usually don't take positions like this when it comes to these cases. I don't believe this at all. This is a money grab. Tony Buzbee, you need to stop, man. And these women need to stop. It's funny. Shannon gets ready to announce that he's going to get ready to secure the bag with his podcast, and she's trying to take half of the money. Half. And then in his thing, they actually had Shannon's address in Vegas in the lawsuit. I'm not gonna show that part because I'm not gonna put that man's business out there and so he can get doxxed and all this. But I find that Tony Buzbee to be a sleazeball. This is what he does. He tried to find these women. He's looking to try to get his next money grab. He gonna need this money because he got a lawsuit that Jay-Z filed against him that's practically trying to bankrupt his entire law firm. So he needs a win. And if he could secure $50 million from Shannon Sharpe in a shakedown, then he's gonna take home probably roughly somewhere between the excess about almost $20 million. So this is very, very lucrative for Tony Buzbee. But it's funny, it's crazy because Shannon, his lawyers have fought back. They released text messages from this woman, how she wanted things and she wanted him to tie her up and all this stuff to disprove the credibility. And I get it. When you accused of something like this, you got to take all measures possible. You got to take all measures possible. I'm glad that he leaked all that stuff. I'm glad he put it all out there for the public. So this not to publicly shame this woman, but it was to show that, hey, what she's alleging in this lawsuit is far from the truth. This woman is trying to secure her a bag, and the fact that he's not messing with her no more, and they're not in a relationship no more, she filmed a bag. So what's the best way to come back at a man when that man with power and prestige that you used to deal with, and he don't want to deal with you no more? Say that he did something to you that is so egregious that you can file a lawsuit. So we're gonna follow this one. I don't believe this at all, and I usually don't take these positions, but this just reeks of a money grab. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, let's keep it coaching.